Hey, it's Jay here. I made a video a while ago discussing how difficult it was to solo each base. Haven't heard of it? Well, why are you living under a rock? I wanted to remake that video since it is now outdated and BRM5 has received a number of updates. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. It helps my channel out and it shows your support. Let's get right into it. Starting off, we have the Depot, a new-ish base added as a replacement to El Chara. This base is either a slight challenge or is the easiest base in the game. Sometimes you will get 30 plus enemies spawning and other times you will get around 10, like I did on this run. The base is aesthetically pleasing but not challenging. As a side note, I will not be covering Pushkina in this video as it is not a POI on the map at the FOB. Pushkina is the crash site that was made for newer players, even though it is harder than the Depot. I rate the Depot at 2 out of 10. The base is fun when you get a good amount of AI spawning. However, other than how the Depot looks, this place doesn't have many qualities to it. Next up on our list we have the Quarry. The Quarry has remained the same for quite some time now. It is a series of tunnels leading down into various rooms holding hostages and hostiles. Unfortunately, the elevators haven't been working for a bit. This bug has been reported for a while, but we've never gotten a fix for it. Those lousy engineers. As for difficulty, this base is pretty easy. I will be rating it harder than the Depot though because of how boring and tedious this base can get. It takes forever to traverse the tunnels to find that one hostile hiding from you. I checked everywhere but this location. A hostile spawned on this walkway and did not shoot at me when I was down there, causing me to have to spend 5 more minutes just to take out one more guy. I rate this base a 4 out of 10. 1 out of 10 for difficulty gameplay wise, and 3 out of 10 for the sanity drain. The third location we will be discussing is the village. The village received a facelift a while back and has remained untouched since. I wish there was more to do with the surrounding mountains. Maybe a cabin could be built along the side of the mountains. It could serve as an RLF comms outpost or something along those lines. This base will sit at a 3.5 out of 10 for difficulty. The AI seem to push you rather aggressively. If you are prepared, this base will be easy to eliminate. Equip yourself with a medium range weapon and you should be good to go. Village is a pretty short one, there's not much to this base. After the village, we move to the mountain. The snowy POD resort on all those lovely Ronograd brochures. This base, similar to Village and Quarry, received a facelift and hasn't been touched since. However, I think the mountain is great the way it is. It serves as a challenge to those who can manage to scale its steep peaks. With a helicopter, you will be able to land easily, but after you land, you'll be immediately attacked by POD hostiles. The best way to take on the mountain is to land near the lower helipad as there are less hostiles there. In terms of difficulty, I would rank the mountain at 5 out of 10. You need a helicopter to get there, unless you want to drive a jeep up a 70-degree slope. There are snipers everywhere who can take you out within 3 to 4 shots. There are also smokers and advanced POD forces here, so be careful. Descending the mountain, we have the Department of Utilities, or the DOU. This base is massive. Fun fact, I have never soloed this base until the recording this video. The AI gets stuck in a lot of the most niche places, so it makes it a strain to find and eliminate them. I would compare the DOU to the Quarry in terms of the sanity it will take from you. Difficulty, however, this base is pretty tough. There are several vehicles equipped with turrets that can take you down in 1 to 2 shots, alongside 60 plus POD hostiles ready to ruin your day. I would rate the DOU at a 7.5 out of 10, 6.5 out of 10 for difficulty, and 1 out of 10 for sanity loss. The sanity loss is lower than the Quarry's due to the DOU actually being a challenge and not just a tedious mess. Moving along, we arrive at Ronograd City, the famous middle of the map point of interest. In recent updates, Ronograd City was destroyed. The POD blew it all up because they were jealous of the UN checkpoint, or something like that, I don't know. Hostile forces have moved into your neighborhood, and buddy, you do not like your new neighbors. You must eliminate forces within and atop the rebel buildings, on the streets, and even in your sheets. Why is that in this? What the f are we doing, John? All jokes aside, Ronograd City is now harder than before, which is amazing. The previous City Hall was not hard at all, it was very streamlined. Now, Ronograd City is actually a challenge. There are tight corridors you must face down, as well as long-range snipers ready to eliminate you. The base is daunting. However, if you just take your time, it becomes a lot simpler. I would rate Ronograd City a 6.5 out of 10. It feels fun. It feels different every time you take the base on. Having open, yet also enclosed elevations is a great combo, and it shines within Ronograd City. Across the bridge we have the Dockyard. This base is horrible. The Dockyard has the same issue as the Quarry. It is tedious rather than challenging. That being said, this base is harder than the Quarry. It does offer a lot of challenges, but the challenges are overlooked when I'm here for 20 plus minutes hunting down the AI that decide to play hide and seek with me. I hate hide and seek. This base gets a rating of 8.5 out of 10. 5 for the difficulty, and then 3.5 for the sanity tags. The sanity man is somewhere in your room, and he requires his tags. Last but most certainly not least, that would be the Quarry, we traveled through the tunnel to Fort Ronograd. This base has had the reputation of being, on paper, the hardest base to take down, but always fell short. I even made a video on it that showed how to efficiently farm the base for crazy cash and EXP. In its newest iteration, however, the base is hard. It is insanely hard. Taking this base solo was so difficult I ran out of ammo, meds, and my will to live. After you take out the enemies along the exterior, there are more inside. After that, you must storm Fort Ronograd's main building. Within are plenty of smokers and POD Spec Ops units, ready to take you down no matter what. This final gauntlet is tough. You gotta choose your fights carefully. One mistake can end your run. I like to compare Fort Ronograd to Ronograd City. Fort Ronograd is Ronograd City's combat style but cranked to the max. You have open fights and then it goes CQB. It is amazing. Your medical supplies and ammunition are drained, thinking you have just taken down the fortress, but then you must go through one final building, packed full of the toughest enemies. Fort Ronograd is truly the hardest point of interest on the island, and I would rate Fort Ronograd a 9.5 out of 10. I give it this because while being extremely difficult, it is not near impossible. I did this on my first run. The average player will fail, but with failure comes intuitive thinking to overcome. This base will test your game knowledge of the AI and the weapons while putting you through the toughest engagements. That is why Fort Ronograd is the hardest base within BRM5. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. It is free and it really helps me out. If you want more videos like this, please let me know in the comments below. Also, consider becoming a channel member to further support my channel. And thank you all so much for 15,000 subscribers. That means the world to me, and I'm hoping to get content back up and running pretty soon. Things have been pretty hectic in my life, but you guys don't need to worry about that. Have a good day and stay safe.